Hello, welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz. I will be guiding you on this journey today. This is a reading for the 5-2, the Heretic Hermit. If you don't know what your human design is or your profile, hello. My mind just started floating away from me. But yeah, if you don't know what your profile is, there's a link in the description for you to get your human design body graph, and your profile will be listed on there. You don't really need to know anything about human design in order for these messages to resonate. The intention of these messages is for them to be an additional avenue or an additional channel to receive information or a message, because not every Libra or, Aries is a 5-2, So definitely be sure to check out your zodiac sign readings if you haven't already. Those are all available for your viewing pleasure. But yeah, we'll get into your reading here. I do want to set an intention. That was huge for me in Scorpio season. Setting intention, or really my lack of intention in my life in general. So that was nice. True, but also who wants to hear that? So I have it written down too, because I'm not one of those people that can just come up with an intention or an affirmation just off the fucking top of my head. I wish that I was. I envy those people, but I do have it written down. So, crown open. I anchor into the present and the truth within it. I welcome only what is clear, balanced, and aligned. All distortion, fear, and interference remain outside this space. May these messages travel through me, not from me, to those who called for them, carrying honesty, clarity, and calm. Beautiful. All right, let's just get a couple cards for our 5-2s. I really only try to get 3 cards. Any more than that, I feel like the readings just get much longer. We have the 10 of Wands, the 2 of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords. Interesting how the 10 of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles are climbing up stones or climbing up steps. And it feels like the difference between them is your perception. Maybe too, because it doesn't necessarily have to be obviously physical climbing. It can be, of course, but as it could be the proverbial climbing a ladder, or almost even trying to get to a different point in your life. And like I said, it really can come down to your perspective and your belief around either what is possible or how to get there, wherever there is. Ow. I'm just cut myself with my own nail. I mean, there could have been like a rock bottom type of situation that could have happened. And of course, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, like don't necessarily try to fit a square peg into a round hole. But yeah, I mean, like there are different forms of rock bottom too, right? I mean, like there could be a rock bottom where you were trying to fit too much on your plate, feeling burnt out. Um, like spreading yourself too thin, saying yes when you really wanted to say no. It could also just be like working towards goals that aren't your own. It could have been a goal that it like almost was like conditioned into you. That's like a huge thing with human design is deconditioning. I mean, we all have been propagandized and conditioned to live a specific type of life, right? But that specific type of life benefits a specific type of people, right? And as we get older, and I honestly also truly believe that we find human design or human design finds us either way. It's like chicken or egg thing, right? Like which one comes first. But at a period in our lives where we are ready to drop the conditioning, we're ready to work through that conditioning because we've already recognized within ourselves that something is not working. Right? It's like, and they talk about this in human design as well, where literally everybody is conditioned to live a life like a generator. Not everybody is a generator. There's a lot of generators, of course, but not everybody is meant to live like a generator. And even generators can burn out. And also even generators don't fit into every, not every generator is meant to live in that box, right? The only thing I'm saying that's bad about that box is that it was created for a few people to benefit from, right? Like corporations and billionaires and capitalism in general. No, I'm not going to go like on a super tangent about that, but right. It's like, and again, like that can lead to burnout and it could lead to just not honoring your own intuition, your own path. There's definitely a goal here, though. I mean, tens are a completion. The Ten of Wands for me is like carrying all of the life lessons, all of the ups and downs, the trial and errors, the things that you have tried, the things that you have learned by going through an experience, the skills that you have acquired at a job or through school or whatever, right? The experience that you have. And the Ten of Wands can, and it does like talk about burden. But to me, it's like taking the things that you find important, beneficial, and like moving forward. We can see on this card here that they're carrying these 10 wands. There's this house up here. So, clearly I'm thinking they're heading towards this house, right? So this could have been the goal, and it's just been a climb to get there. But then, right, we have this Two of Pentacles who is also like climbing these stairs, but it doesn't seem like, at least in this card, it doesn't seem like it's a burden. It doesn't seem like it can also be that this goal that you have been working towards, because clearly you have been, it could just be that there's two different truths of it, right? It could be that one truth of it is that it's been a climb and it's been burdensome at some point. It could be like just overwhelming. There could have been periods where you felt like you had a lot on your plate, a lot going on, a lot of lessons, like a lot of trial and error, which is very like third line, but I mean, we all have all the lines like somewhere. I'm pretty sure. I think like I don't think that we ever not have, like, I think I only have like one sixth line. And I want to say it's maybe my Venus, my conscious, unconscious, I can't remember now. But it's there, right? Like, so I have like all of the lines somewhere in my chart. Just maybe not a ton of them. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. I'm like kind of going off on a fucking tangent there. But one truth is that it's taken a lot of fucking hard work. It's taken a lot of energy. It's taken, like really you committing to like your passion and your desire, like around the thing. You have the goal there, right? Like you have that end of the tunnel, right? Like the destination where you want to be. And the journey could have just been more difficult. But on the other side, the other truth of things is that there's my dog is growling in his sleep and it like kind of freaked me out for a second. Dreaming, because this almost like feels dreamy to me. This like Two of Pentacles, it talks about balancing responsibilities in general. I'm actually curious what the book says about the Two of Pentacles. I almost opened right to it. The Two of Pentacles reminds you to make room for both work and play. There is a way to be productive without sacrificing your joy in the process. You are called to find a balance at this time between responsibility and pleasure. This can also be a reminder that challenges don't have to completely overwhelm you, which is kind of like, 10 of Wands-ish. If you're going through a difficult time, do your best not to let negative thoughts and emotions overcome you. Exactly. Even though they are different elements, right? Like wands are fire, snappy, quick, doing, acting on things, right? Like getting information back. That's how I see wands. Like I see them as, because truly, we really cannot get that information, the data, whatever, like without acting, without trying, without like actually taking action towards a thing. I always like use the example of like crafting, because there's been like so many fucking times where I picked up a hobby, bought hundreds of dollars worth of shit, towards it, because I was like so convinced that it was going to become my new personality and I was going to do it forever. And some of the things I tried, hated. Other things, I was like, I enjoy this. I just don't enjoy this one aspect of it. So, I kind of make tweaks and changes to that one aspect. There's other things that like tarot that I picked up and I loved, because I knew that I would. But we have to try in order to get that information, that feedback, right? And to make tweaks and to get information. I feel like the Knight of Swords is here to, really be a thing about being mindful of your mindset. The Knight of Swords can be pretty like impulsive. It's the fastest moving knight in the tarot. It's swords, so it has to do with our mind, our belief systems, truth, and communication. So again, it really does feel, and this is kind of where I was like, the difference is the perspective, right? Because it could change multiple times a day too, right? It could be, again, or not this again, or but then it could change again to be like, oh my God, this is amazing. I feel great, about this, like, and both things can be true at the same time. But I also feel like the Knight of Swords is either a warning or it really kind of depends on your situation. Like if it's a warning or if it's invitation, like it could be a warning to be careful not to be impulsive, especially in how you're communicating, what you're saying. It could also be that there is something that needs to be communicated or something that does need to be said. There is this big old truth here with this Ace of Swords. Look how big this fucking Ace of Swords is that they're holding, which is truth. And it is honesty, and it's ideas, and it's perspective and beliefs, and the stories that we're attaching to experiences over here. Like, can you honor the experience as being part of the process, or are you viewing it as something that is exhausting and depleting and not fun and not what you thought it was going to be? Because it never is, honestly. Like, it never is. And can both those things be true without attaching a meaning or, adopting those things as being the vibe of, the overarching vibe of, can it just be that in that moment and you let it go? Like, can you honor both sides? Can you honor that this is great? Can you honor that it's not so great right now and just let it be what it is type of thing, Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck also. And I've been using this time to invite or, ask you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But I'm like, literally like 5 people see these readings. And I know all 5 of you are already subscribed to the channel, right? Right? And if you haven't already, I would absolutely love it if you did. I think that also kind of makes these readings a bit more like personal readings. So I really do hope that these messages resonate. I never know because nobody ever comments. So I would love it if you did that too. But yeah, and I hope that it also doesn't sound whiny. Like, oh, anybody have any comments on me? But it's true. Like that, like look at the video. Like there's not ever really any comments, which is also fine. Like I'm not the type of person to comment on every video, but it literally just occurred to me that I might be sounding like a whiny little bitch. And that's not my intention either. We have the Page of Wands. I kind of love this progression, even though, traditionally we go from the 10 to the Ace, but I love that we have this progression from the 10 of Wands to the Page of Wands, because this shows that they made it to this goal. Then what? Right? Like, But also bask in that fucking accomplishment. This is also too like giving me vibes of like the landscape changing. Because over here, right, I mean, all you can really see is, and all that you're really focused on is the next step that you have to take, right? Like, I mean, when you're climbing a mountain, when you're hiking and shit, like, especially if you're going up in elevation, like, you do kind of have to watch the ground, right? To make sure that you're not tripping on rocks or debris or roots or, you know, whatever that could be down there. And over here in the Page of Wands, I mean, you know, they're standing on top of this mountain here, and you can see the ocean, you can see the beach, right? I mean, like the perspective changes, which again, like I said at the beginning of the thing, let me write that down. I'm really also trying to get better at titles for videos, and if I don't write it down like while I'm doing, I just won't remember. But yeah. Also, instead of having 10 wands in their hand, they have one. They have the Ace of Wands. So it's almost too like getting to a point where the lessons, the experiences, the burdens, the burnout, the overwhelm, whatever, comes to an end in a way, to where like you can focus on one thing, and maybe like they all just kind of combine into one thing. Because you have all of it, you have all that experience, you have all that knowledge. And it's like you don't need to carry them around separately. You can channel it all into one thing. We have the Hanged Man on the Two of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands on the Knight of Swords, and then the Star card at the bottom of the deck. Beautiful. The Hanged One is Neptune, I believe, and that's in Pisces right now. And it is a Pisces, you know, rulership. I kind of love how their focus is on, what is that? Is that a moon? No. I think it's maybe supposed to look like the moon, but it looks like water to me. Let me see. The Hanged One seeks enlightenment through a period of voluntary surrender. Isolated and suspended, the Hanged One began his meditative period sitting up in his swing. He looked out at the shore and began to grow tired and bored with his narrow view, which is interesting that over here on the Page of Wands, they're looking out over the shore. And so he shifted his position into something less expected. And letting go of bending back, he sees something new and invigorating. This whole fucking thing is about changing your perspective. A glowing object, a thing of magic and beauty. Within this object lies the insight he's been hoping for. If he had never shifted his position, he never would have noticed it. The Hanged One asks you to let go of control and open yourself up to something new. This is not a time for action or forcing your will on the world. Instead, take a step back and give yourself some time and space. Through inaction and observation, the answers you seek will make themselves clear to you. Give things time and be open to an unexpected perspective. That's pretty cool. It's like stop pushing, stop forcing yourself to like continue to climb if really what you need is to stop. I think that's also the thing between like the masculine and feminine energies, like yin and yang, because the masculine would keep going, it would keep pushing, it would keep initiating. The feminine energies, not genders, but the feminine would allow, receiving. It would allow things to come to you. It would also, even with this, like I was saying, that it looked like water, that's intuition and feeling. And it's, honoring that within yourself, like, honoring your own intuition. And the Queen of Wands. Like I said, well, okay. Like I was saying over here with the Page of Wands, and channeling all those different energies from the Ten of Wands into one thing. That's kind of like what the Queen of Wands, this is like learning how to do that, or be kind of being in that transitionary, or even the surrender, right? Like recognizing that it doesn't have to be multiple things. It could be one thing with multiple energies, or just big energy, whatever, that you focus into it. Queens for me are when we embody the energy of the suit within ourselves. Like we learn to work with it, we learn to master it. So there's a confidence here. There's even, the way that you express your passions, or, express your creativity, how you do communicate those things. This is literally the shift of perspective happening. And I love that we start with the Ten of Wands and we end with the Queen of Wands. And that could also be, seeing it from a perspective of personal growth. And again, yeah, there might have been some difficult times, some growing pains as well, but it has all gotten you here. The Star card, hopes and dreams, trusting the process. This is, feeding your physical form, the things that you have like manifested into the physical plane, but also feeding and honoring your intuition. And it's also even the alignment of those things, which could be where the perspective, shift comes from, aligning your mind and your body. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm going to leave it there. And I close this space with gratitude and ease. All energies are released, returning to their rightful paths. May what was received be integrated with clarity and peace. Thank you. Bye.